going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the HasanDaily broadcast coming to you live from sunny but kind of cold stolen land, Los Angeles, California. We're alive, and I hope everyone's having a fantastic one. Oh yeah, woke is back. Woke is so fucking back, dude. Woke is so fucking back. One example for woke is back is this one. Last night I saw this and it had like 22,000 likes. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna talk some shit. ASMONGOLD says Hassan is completely out of touch. Nobody who had pololess as a kid grew up working class. You don't understand what it's like to be an average American. I said, this is not even an argument. I grew up privileged, never hid that. You are a multimillionaire business owner who sits in a rotting house LARPing as a working man as you justify hurting the most vulnerable laborers in the country to a majority audience of Euro MAGA supporters. 90,000 likes. If the Nazi platform is getting this much motion against like the classic, like, oh, you're a rich socialist, you're privileged, you're out of touch, shut the fuck up. The most like pro-working class position is to demand that every Mexican get violently removed from the country. Like that's the kind of sentiment for like the past, I don't know, 3 years has been popping off on this stupid fucking websites. Polo is lame. If I was rich, I'd be into falconing. That shit is cool. I never did polo. I did equestrian show jumping. But, I mean, I'm not going to correct that. Hassan, I'm with you, but you are on that platform. I deleted that SS shit Twitter BS years ago. Yes, brother. Someone's got to get in the fucking dirt and roll with these piggies, okay? I'm that someone. I'm that guy. Like, when have you ever seen me pull away from getting into a knife fight like this? You know, I just sat through it. I pushed through it, and we're so close to the finish line. We're so close to see the light on the other side. And the reason why I say that, I mean, is because that's my background. Like, a lot of people take for granted, I think, how like, you know, popular socialism as a term has become in like the last decade in the United States of America. Because like when you were talking about socialism in the pre-Bernie universe, socialism was just like the oldest, crustiest dudes you've ever encountered, and maybe like random people who were really, really nerdy and really invested in this shit. The internet was an unimaginably hostile environment for anyone who was even remotely to the left of the Democratic Party or dared to explain what their politics look like as socialism or communism. Given that that was the background, like being at the Young Turks from like 2013 onward, when the entire commentary sphere was hyper right wing, all the way up to like white supremacists. The entire right wing was dominating the YouTube sphere, all the independent media sphere in like 2013, 2014, 2015. All of the edgy atheists had turned against Barack Obama because Barack Obama was a secret Muslim. And he was doing too much to basically defend Islam. He was maybe even bringing Islam to the United States of America, you know, all the stuff that people were saying, which was very racialized and totally ridiculous, had created an incredibly right-wing environment. And at least now, in this day and age, even when woke goes away and anti-woke has its moment in the spotlight, as it has for like the last 3-4 years, there's some brothers and sisters out there, some people that have been able to push back a little bit so you don't feel so lonely. So never forget, if you match where we're at in comparison to where we used to be, I think things are a lot better. In some ways, they're a lot worse, but you know, I'll take it. It's MLK Day. Obviously, we'll be talking about MLK's legacy as a democratic socialist. Or for all the ultras out there, he was a social fascist, obviously, because he wasn't revolutionary enough. That's my new guy is Third Worldist, calling MLK a social fascist who wants modest reforms in the imperial core. Yeah, he wasn't pro Viet Cong enough, and therefore he was actually a social fascist. Leftist MLK haters are so weird. No, that's not a real thing. Most leftists at least have the wherewithal not to shit on Martin Luther King. Come on now. Who are these MLK hating leftists? I just want to talk to them. That's not a real person. I'm inventing a person by joking, comparing the modern commentary that a lot of people have to it's a joke, okay? It's a joke. Just know it as a joke. How about that? That's all it is. It's a joke. You're in Middle East Observer, don't lie. What? Erdogan calls out Israel. What did he say? Turkish President Erdogan. I'm confident with wisdom my Iranian brothers and sisters will overcome the treacherous Israeli-backed sedition that targeted the country's social peace and stability. At Middle East Spectator. Yeah, Erdogan is yeah, Erdogan is pro-Iran now. He's pro-Islamic Republic. That's the funniest joke anyone's ever told in this broadcast. Here in Norway, we can finally get a valid excuse to break off from the U.S. and join the Sino-Motherland alliance we wanted all along. We just need Xi to make Russia a province first. I think Norwegians are not doing that. That's what I think. I think Norwegians they are so libbed up, dude. They're so libbed. All the Euros are so libbed up. I know you guys in here are not, and maybe you can report on it and tell me if I'm wrong. But from my estimation, I just don't see any European leaders like even taking the Mark Carney step. Like Mark Carney, I think is a smart guy. Do I agree with his worldview? Of course not. I mean, he is a banker, right? Like he's a banker. He is going to be someone who maintains a neoliberal mechanism of order in Canada. That's definitely what he's doing, but at least he's like seemingly a more competent guy than like Keir Starmer is. And obviously like what he did by going to China and like fixing the Canadian-Chinese relations and, you know, allowing visa-free travel to China, and bringing in EV fleets to Canada, like all this stuff is good. It's smart. I haven't even seen that level of motion from European leadership at this point. So like they should have done this on Liberation Day anyway. If I, a 34-year-old dumbass on the internet, can see the writing on the wall from a mile away, you think these guys can't? I don't think it's incompetence. I think it's ideological blindness. The European Union has suckled on the teat of American empire and the post-World War II order and have found themselves in this beneficial position because all of the politicians that run these countries are just as rugged and vulgar in their pro-capitalist stance as Americans are. Sure, European leadership has the benefits of social democracy, born partially out of its proximity to the USSR, the threat of a scary, better alternative was part of the reason why there were modest reforms in the country. So you have that, but it's going away. And the same people that have run these countries have the exact same ideological vision as the toothless, feckless Democrats in our country. And obviously painting in the entirety of Europe with this broad brush is silly because there is Spain. And I don't know if it's a mere aesthetic posture in the direction of China. But I think European nation states in the upcoming years will either have to recognize that they have been completely vassalized, not dissimilar to countries in the third world, or fascism will win. Hey, Hasan, I've been not trying to do a gotcha, but why do you use the term third world? Is it just easier for audiences to understand? Yes. Also, the third world, or the negative connotation associated with the third world, is actually a Western invention. Like third world just means aligned with the Soviets, as opposed to like it just means the global South. It's a Cold War statement. It's a contextualization that is from the Cold War. Or not aligned with the Soviets, sorry, non-aligned. Second world is Soviet alignment. Third world is neutral countries, but just means like global South. Wait, it's alignment, not development? Yes, that's where it comes from. I guess initially it comes from Yugoslavia, right? The originator of the non-aligned movement, despite being organized as a socialist state. Yugoslavia forever. Why use third world instead of global South? I just use it interchangeably. I don't shy away from using certain terminology because it's like it has like a negative connotation associated with it. Like I don't care. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the distinction between Indian versus Native American. It's not as bad as like Latinx versus Latino, where it's just like something that I choose not to ever use, Latinx, right? Because it's silly. It makes you look silly. It makes you look out of touch. That's a slur. What's a slur? Oh, Latinx. Language holds power for sure. But as long as you know where I'm coming from when I'm talking about these things, I don't think it matters all that much. I'll use terminology that I think everyone can understand. Why say third world when the second world no longer exists? Exactly. That's why it's a catch-all term. Rare Hassan L on the take Latinx. Wait, what? You can't be the one loyal soldier of super woke in 2026 still defending Latinx, right? You know what it reminds me of too? Like another thing is like when you say homeless and someone goes, "Excuse me," someone devoid of home or like unhoused. It's like, dude, stop. Like, come on, please. Like, I know you're not wrong, but that's just not how language works. That's not how you can make the most effective message. Like, you're not wrong. In theory, I understand where you're coming from because you are a firm and committed believer that like the language that you're using also has power in it, right? But I'm a marketer. My job is to market the positions that I hold. And oftentimes I think trying to sanitize language unironically ends up making you look out of touch. It makes you look out of touch. Utilizing regular terminology that the broader base of support uses is good.